iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. That's right. So we're heading towards Memorial Day, and I wanted to take some time over this week and take a look at some of the divisions in baseball and how they're shaking out, and fantasy-wise, what can we look at here. So today I'm going to do the AL East. If I have some time, I'll do the NL East. I'll go East Coast today, but we'll see about the time, how long it takes. First of all, the AL East, the New York Yankees. That's right, the New York Yankees are a game and a half ahead. They're 26-16. They're a game and a half ahead of the Orioles. The Red Sox are 4.5 behind. The Rays are 5.5 behind. The Blue Jays are 8.5 behind. I would say here this is a three-team race between the Yankees, the Orioles, and the Red Sox. I don't think we've seen the Red Sox play great baseball yet. We haven't seen David Price in the mound yet. I think the Hanley Ramirez hasn't started to hit yet. But let's start with the Yankees and see where we are. Gary Sanchez figuring it out, starting to get better, really getting hot recently over the last 14 games. The guy's hitting .326 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. So we're looking at a guy who is getting better. I mean, we all saw him as a third, fourth round pick at the beginning of the season, and I think he's going to show return on that by the end of the year. Greg Bird has been an unmitigated disaster, really has. He's not expected back for another couple of weeks. If I told you right now the guy would be hitting 100 with 1 home run this year, would you believe me? No, because he was killing it. Maybe Greg Bird will give you some second half numbers. I'm just not going to buy into it. I'm going to stay away from him. Starlin Castro has been outstanding. I think when the Cubs look back at some dumb trades, Starlin Castro of the Yankees was pretty dumb. Guy's hitting .335 right now with 31 runs scored and 7 home runs. I got to tell you, when I think of guys who are all-star players, Starlin Castro fits that bill. Didi Gregorius was injured when the year started, but really started to come on. I like Didi Gregorius. I had him in a league where I had him for $1, but I didn't protect him because of the injury. And I look back on that and I'm a little disappointed because I knew he was going to be a good player, and I think he's really going to show that this year. I don't know whether they're going to see the 20 home runs, but we should see 10 to 15, and keep your eye on Didi Gregorius. The Yankees are going to have to do something at third base. Chase Headley stinks. I mean, really bad. I know Gleyber Torres is working his way up. And if that's the case, he's in AAA. I mean, he is their top prospect. Who knows where he'll end up? Could he end up? I don't know. I don't think Castro can play third. I'm not sure. But I know that the Chase Headley experience is going to come to a quick end sooner than later. The outfield, Brett Gardner, fantasy-wise, outstanding. Aaron Judge, if you had him this year, congratulations. You were the smart one in your fantasy league. He is real deal. I mean, this guy's nickname should be Godzilla. He's got 15 home runs. He's hitting .315. I don't know whether he's going to keep up the average, but man, he's got 4 stolen bases. What more do you want from this guy? I wouldn't mind seeing the Yankees get rid of Jacoby Ellsbury, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'd like to see Aaron Hicks out there. They paid Jacoby Ellsbury a boatload of cash, so he's not going anywhere, but fantasy-wise, he's okay. He's not special. I think Matt Holliday's had a pretty good year for the Yankees as well. 8 home runs, hitting about .270. So doing exactly what the Yankees thought they'd be doing. So fantasy-wise, Sanchez, Castro, Gregorius, Gardner, Judge, all guys who have done a terrific job this year. We know pitching-wise, Aroldis Chapman is injured. He'll be back in the middle of June. Dylan Betances is terrific. I like Tyler Clippard. I like Adam Warren if you're in a league that has holds. Pineda has been great. Sabathia has been absolutely shocking to fantasy owners. I mean, really, the guy's got 4 wins. He's got a decent number of strikeouts. The ERA pretty much sucks and the whip sucks, but he's given the Yankees innings. And I think, honestly, the best pitcher for the Yankees has been Luis Severino. I mean, the dude has been lights out. A whip of 1.13, and after last season's disaster, who saw this coming? I know some of you experts did, so good for you. Tanaka looks like he's in real trouble this year. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. This guy's ERA is close to like 17. 700. I mean, his ERA is 6.56. His whip is 1.60. He looks terrible. He's walking a ton of guys, letting up. He's very hittable. The Yankees are going to need a number one pitcher. I don't know what they're going to trade. I would say I might trade Jorge Mateo, but they need a number one pitcher in the worst way. So that's the New York Yankees. Can they stay where they are? I think they can. I think they could absolutely be in the middle of a pennant race here. The Baltimore Orioles are in second place, as we said, playing better than I thought they would. Wellington Castillo is hitting the 330. Chance Sisco is their guy in AAA, but they don't need Chance Sisco with Wellington Castillo doing so well. So he's been the man there. Chris Davis has been okay this year, not special. He's got some 9 home runs. I mean, he's on pace to hit 30, but not really looking tremendous. I think the guy there who's looked better is Trey Mancini. Trey Mancini is 6 years younger, hitting 301, hitting 7 home runs. I would argue I'd like to see what Trey Mancini can do every day at first base. Jonathan Scope has just really stepped up his game. Was hitting close to 300 a few days ago, now batting 267. He's only 25, very solid player. Manny Machado has actually not gotten off to a great start. The guy's only hitting 223, but he's got 10 home runs. So you know he's going to hit close to 300, which means if I'm trading for somebody in a fantasy league, Manny Machado may be that guy. He absolutely may be that guy. I'm not a J.J. Hardy fan. In the outfield, Adam Jones, old reliable. I mean, just does what Adam Jones does. Hits about 270. He's got 8 home runs, 20 RBIs. There's no stolen bases anymore like there used to be. That's a problem, but he's a very consistent player. And Seth Smith and Joey Ricard, they are a very good platoon. If you're in an AL-only league, you might get some at-bats out of them. I think the big disappointment this year, which we knew, was Mark Trumbo. I mean, you knew he wasn't going to hit 47 home runs again, but 6? I think we expected more out of Trumbo. The pitching, Brad Britton's been injured most of the season. Brad Brock, if you're one of those guys who likes to draft middle relievers, you got very lucky with Brock this year. The guy's got 9 saves. Good for you. Chris Tillman just got back to the rotation. Kevin Gossman's been terrible. Really terrible. I mean, really terrible. His ERA, he's rivaling Masahiro Tanaka for crappiness. But Wade Miley's pitched well. And how about Dylan Bundy? Dylan Bundy's ERA is 2.97. He's got a 1.13 whip. He's pitched 57 innings. I don't see him pitching more than another 100, but I think he's done a really good job this year. And if I'm in a keeper league, I'm going after Dylan Bundy. He's my kind of guy. All right, so that's the Orioles a game and a half out. The Red Sox, as we discussed, are, 4.5 games out. That's right. I just feel the Red Sox haven't gotten hot yet. I'll start with their pitching. Chris Sale has been everything we thought he'd be and more. I mean, really, his whip is .79. 0.79. 39 hits in 65 innings. Guy's been great. But David Price, I haven't seen anything. I don't even know what to expect from him when he comes back. Is he 100%? I don't think so. I guess if I was going to make a trade for him, I'd be slightly interested because I would try to think that he could have some potential upside. I'm not buying it, but if it didn't cost me a lot, I'd be interested. Rick Porcello not doing anything like what he did in his Cy Young year. Not at all. But I think it's getting better. Not great, but getting better. The last, few outings have been an improvement for him, but he's not sensational this year. He's just been a fantasy third starter. I think Eduardo Rodriguez has been great. He was the guy I told you before the season. 3.10 ERA, 1.09 whip. I'm in love with this guy. He's got more than a strikeout an inning. Sign me up for Eduardo Rodriguez any day of the week. And Drew Pomeranz. We haven't seen him healthy yet. They gave up Anderson Espinosa for him, so he better do something. He's a guy to look at moving forward. Craig Kimbrell got 12 saves. His ERA is .92. his whip is .41. So you can say whatever you want. Craig Kimbrell holds down that bullpen. So that hitting has been very suspect. The catcher, Sandy Leon, we knew wasn't going to hit what he hit last year. Mitch Moreland has been a good guy coming over, but he's a 250, 2080 kind of guy with good defense. But Hanley Ramirez, not really producing the bombs that we expected, only 6 home runs to this point. I think he's a guy to look at. Pablo Sandoval, we know, stinks. Xander Bogaerts. How many home runs do you think Xander Bogaerts has? Wait for it. 0. 0. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, he's hitting .320, but he's got 0 home runs. This is a guy that had 20 last year. So Jackie Bradley, what's happening with Jackie Bradley? The guy's hitting .208 with 4 home runs. So between Moreland, Sandoval, Bogaerts, Bradley, these guys, Hanley, this is a Red Sox team who hasn't yet hit. Mookie Betts is a great player. He's a star of epic proportions, right? Guy's on pace for 30-30. I have no problem with that. And Andrew Benintendi, I don't think you could ask for a lot more than him. He's on pace for 20 to 25 home runs and 20 to 25 steals. Nothing wrong with that. But you got really 2 guys hitting in that lineup. So am I scared of the Red Sox? If I'm a Yankee fan, I am. I think the Red Sox haven't done anything yet. And they're just getting ready. Okay? The Tampa Bay Rays. So the question is here, are the Rays sellers? Wilson Ramos is due back soon. I think he's really going to help this team. He's got a good bat, could hit 300, 20 home runs. I like him. Logan Morrison has been absolutely fantastic this year. I mean, his career high in home runs is 23 in 2011. I think he's going to surpass that, maybe even by the All-Star break. This guy's raking. I mean, raking the home runs. Not a lot of great average, but raking. Evan Longoria starting to hit a little bit. Been hotter recently. Been dealing with some issues. But the last 7 games, hitting .290, starting to make some contact. The guy here who's been terrific is Corey Dickerson. I mean, Corey Dickerson hitting .345 with 12 home runs. We knew he was a hitter. But when he came over from Colorado, he just didn't perform. Well, look, put this guy in the right spot and he's great. Put him against a righty, he's great. Put him against a lefty, maybe not so great. Kevin Kiermaier has been a disappointment to me. I think if I was looking for a guy in the second half that I'd want to take a shot on, it'd be him. Only 3 home runs. I thought he could hit 15. Stolen bases, only 7. I think he can get to me 27. So please take a look at that. I like him a lot moving forward in the second half. Brad Miller's disappointed. Not really a fan of Steven Souza. Tim Beckham's been great. Tim Beckham has been really good. This guy against lefties in DFS, always doing well, hitting .268 with 7 home runs. So he's been sensational. Alex Colomé, you can't ask for more than that. I mean, really doing well. His whip is .9. He's got 11 saves. The starting rotation, Archer, terrific. Not as great as everybody thought, but still pretty terrific. 77 strikeouts in 64 innings. Good whip. The ERA is a little high. Jake Odorizzi, been very solid this year. Alex Cobb, good, not great, hoping for better, but still coming back from injury. It's that back end of the rotation. Blake Snell was terrible. Erasmo Ramirez stinks. The question is Brent Honeywell, guy's pretty good. In the minors, got 45 strikeouts in 39 innings, but he's let up 43 hits. That has me a little worried there, but he's coming soon. But the Rays never bring up guys early. They wait. And Jose De Leon, another guy that they got in the trade for Logan Forsythe. This guy is going to be coming up soon, but they're going to take their time with him. They are not rushing him at all. So Honeywell and De Leon, if I'm looking for 2 guys in the minors who could come up, I think those are 2 guys there for the Rays that you should look at. And finally in this division, the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays have not been great this year. Really, so many injuries. Josh Donaldson, Troy Tulowitzki. I think if you can get value on them right now in trades, I would absolutely be open to that. Jose Bautista has been absolutely awful. really bad this year. You could see why no team was interested in him. The guy's saying 227. Nobody wanted any part of this guy, 36 years old. Kendrys Morales came over to replace Encarnacion, but a lot of people thought he was going to hit 30 home runs. I'm not seeing that right now. Justin Smoke has been really good. He's got 10 home runs, hits very well against righties. And take a look at two other guys. One, Kevin Pillar. Kevin Pillar hitting 309, 6 home runs, 7 stolen bases. What if I told you this guy's going 2020? This guy might be the American League's version of Odubel Herrera. I have no problem with that. And then take a look at Devon Travis. Devon Travis is starting to get hot. All right, over the last 7 games, he's hitting 542. Over the last 2 weeks, 442. Guy is beginning to hit the baseball. Love to see him hit a little higher in the order, but I'm a big fan. Roberto Osuna is out for a portion of the year, but he's been back. He's been pitching very well over the last 2 weeks. So keep your eye on him if you need closers. You might be able to get him at a discount for somebody in the league who is still doubting him. Marcus Stroman has been very good, bordering on great. Marco Estrada, nobody appreciates this guy. I know I do. ERA of 3.3, 70 strikeouts in 62 innings. Wasn't a fan of J.A. Happ, I told you that. Wasn't a fan of Liriano, I told you that. But you know what? Aaron Sanchez, they haven't had him basically all year. Guy's thrown 24 innings. 24 innings. I mean, I expected him to be a dominant starter. So when you look at the Blue Jays and you ask yourself, why are they performing so poorly? Sanchez, Happ, Liriano have done nothing. Morales has done nothing. Batista's done nothing. Tulo and Donaldson have been injured. They're 8.5 out. This team needs to make a run now. Now. It's possible, but they need those guys to get healthy. And if they get healthy, maybe they make an impact. I don't see it as a huge impact. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'll have to do the NL East tomorrow. I could only get through the AL East today. I got a lot more to say about this. Hopefully I gave you some nuggets of guys who are performing well, who aren't, who should pick up, who you like in fantasy, who I do, who you do. I don't know. Hopefully it'll make you a better team. That's what I want to see. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow. What are we going to do? We're going to join Scout Fantasy. Enter the promo code ROTO. That's pay 1 month, get 2 more months for free. Get our optimizers, our team outlooks, all the information, DFS information, podcast, articles, whatever you need to be a winner. All right, guys, back with the NL East tomorrow. Have a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!